Hi everybody, it's Keren here from tuppencecoloured.co.uk and thank you very much for joining me today. This is what I've been making today, and believe it or not, yes, this is made out of paper. Now it's a gift card holder, or you could slip, I don't know, notes or paper inside, and it's very easy to make, and stay with me and I will show you how I made it. There are a number of different ways of making card and paper look like leather. This is one of the easiest. I have a roller, I have my basic black card, and I have some glue, some PVA glue. Now something like a texture medium will also work quite well for this. Whoops, that's a bit more glue than I actually wanted. And this is this particular bottle of adhesive has been lying around for quite some time. So the ideal is to spread out a row of it, just like that, but the glue didn't cooperate. But never mind, I can show you what we do when that happens. Just going to wipe my hand here for a moment, even though I am wearing gloves. I've still managed to glue myself up. So, oops. That bump was a roll of tape hitting the floor. Okay, so let's make sure we're in shot here. I have my roller, I have my card, I'm going to roll up my adhesive and I'm just going to go straight across my card, just like that. Make sure it's all covered, but I'm only going in one direction, I'm only going towards myself, okay? And the same on this piece here, get my roller nice and covered. See, this corner here doesn't want to get any texture. I don't want to do too much of it, because if I do, what will happen is that the glue will start to set and it will start to delaminate the paper and it will come out in sheets. Okay, so I think that's about it. Quick roll, quick swipe, spin, and now I'm just going to let that set. And here is the finished piece of card, and as you can see, it's got a very glossy and textured finish, which I think looks quite realistic. And I've trimmed that down so that it is 4 inches by 10 inches, and that's going to be my front of my wallet. Now for the inside, I've got some smoky slate and I've cut it very slightly smaller, so this is 3 7/8 of an inch by 9 7/8 of an inch. And with the pieces of the black card that are left over after I cut the main wallet piece out, I've cut myself 4 little pockets. I've cut 2 that are about 3 inches by 4 inches and 2 which are about 1.5 inches by 4, and this is the closure piece, and that is going to be about 2 inches by 1 inch. And to close up, I'm going to use 2 very strong magnets, neodymium magnets. Now you want to keep these away from small children or animals that might swallow them, because they can do a lot of damage. And if you want to find out where I get them, then I'll put the link underneath this video. I'm going to put some fake stitching onto my my faux leather card, and I have a ruler which has got piercing holes in it. Now if you don't have one of these, then you could do it by eye, or you could even use a sewing machine with no thread in. And I'm just piercing through each of the holes in the ruler, and I'm going to speed this bit up because it's not all that interesting to I've pierced little holes all along that one edge of my black card, and now I'm just taking my piercing tool and I'm just running it along those little holes that I've just pierced. And what this will do is will make it look very, very much like stitching. Can you see how realistic that is looking? Now I'm going to go and repeat the process on the other 3 sides of the wallet, and the next thing I'm going to do is work on the closure piece. So I've taken my small piece of card and I just folded it in half with my fingers. I'm going to stick the magnet down with one of my mini glue dots. So I'm just picking that up on my piercing tool and putting it down onto the card, and I'm just going to pop the magnet on top of it. Press it down nice and firmly, don't want that moving around. And I'm now going to put a piece of tear and tape along the opposite side of that piece, and it's tear and tape, that's what it says on the tin. I can tear it quite easily with my fingers, and the backing comes off nice and easily. So I'm just going to close that up and press it down firmly, make sure that everything's stuck as I want it to. Now I want to round off the corners of this closure, so I'm using my corner chomper here, just because I like that sort of finish. Alright, now this next bit is where I went wrong. Alright, so don't do what I'm doing here. What I did was to stick the closure piece onto the inside of the wallet first. Right, and what I should have done was to put the opposite magnet inside the wallet where I wanted it, and then to put my closure piece on. But I had a bit of a brainstorm and I didn't do it that way. Alright, so keep watching, and in a minute you will see me get into all sorts of trouble. Alright, so now I'm lining those up, and it would have been much, much easier if I had lined up the magnets the other way around. Alright, so really the one that I'm desperately trying to find a place for now, really it should have gone it should have gone on first, and the other one should have gone on second. So I'm going to pause the video here so you don't have to watch me struggle. Well, I eventually got everything to sit where I wanted it to. So don't do it the way that I showed you, do it the way that I tell you, because it is much, much easier. Just trust me. Alright, now the inside of the card isn't very pretty because it got all sorts of glue and muck and things on the back of it as I was making it. So now I'm just going to put my liner piece on. Now remember, this is very, very slightly smaller than the outer piece, so that it doesn't show once it's all stuck together. And I'm using my tear and tape on all 4 sides of my piece of smoky slate. So my tape is in place, and now I'm just going to remove the backing, at least part way remove the backing I should say, because doing it this way it does allow me a little bit of wiggle room when I come to put the 2 pieces of card together. So this is a useful little technique. Now I'm ready to put my 2 bits together. And now that joins up very nicely with that, and that is starting to look like the real thing. And one more finishing touch. I just want to round off the corners of my card. And again, this isn't compulsory, but I do think that it just does give a nice little finishing touch and makes it all look a little bit more authentic somehow. So these are my little pocket pieces, and ahead of time I've gone ahead and I've pierced my holes around the edge and run over them with my piercing tool, and I've done the same on the larger pocket. I haven't gone all the way to that corner or the bottom edge because I'm going to be covering those up in a moment and nobody will see them. Okay, now I've marked 3/4 of an inch in from each corner, and I'm just going to snip between those marks that I've made. I've already got the tear and tape onto the back of my little smaller pocket here, just taking the backing off, and I'm just going to line that up with my larger piece. Just take a few seconds and make sure that it all fits nicely, and just press down on those edges just to make sure that everything is sticking together the way that I want it to, and it is. I've already got the tear and tape onto the back of the larger pocket, and there are a lot of pockets in this wallet, and you could put a lot of quite a lot of things in there if you wanted to. You could put little notes as well as gift cards, you know, little secret surprises. I think that would be quite cute. Okay, so I'm just lining that up with the edge of the main piece and just pressing it all down, and there we go. There is my first wallet in place, and I'm going to repeat that on the other side of the wallet. And here it is, finished. I want to put one more finishing touch onto my wallet. I wanted to have a closure, a button on the closure, and I've got my perfect accents and black Sharpie, and I'm just colouring in one of those little enamel dots with my Sharpie so that it's nice and shiny and black. And all I need to do now is to pop that on to the front of my card, and we are finished. So here it is, the finished wallet gift card holder, and there is my nice shiny closure button on the front. I think that's come out really, really well. And if I just open it up, then inside I've popped a gift card, and there's plenty of room for other items as well. And I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and if so, then please do come back and see me again soon. I would love to have you, but for now, thank you very much and goodbye.